Well, hello there. Welcome to Nicole's Creative Adventures. My name is Nicole. I'm your host. I'm coming to you from Livermore, California. That's the East Bay, North Coast side of California. And, it's almost Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate if you have come back and watched my podcast. I apologize for the delay. It's been crazy, or as my friend at work calls it, cray cray. And my goal has been just to get all of my handmade knits knitted before Christmas, and I am about to reach our goal. I will do it. And if you are a new viewer, thanks for checking this out. Hey, I hope you're having a Merry Christmas, a wonderful Happy Holidays, and I hope you have a wonderful New Year. If you wanted to follow me or figure out where you can see show notes, I would suggest that you go to nicolescreativeventures.blogspot.com. You can also follow me on Ravelry, which with my username Baker Vieira, and also can follow me on Instagram with that same account. I'll list that in my show notes and also in the down bar here on YouTube. I'm not sick. I don't know what that was. Maybe me talking too fast. Maybe I need some cafe. So this is one of my favorite coffee mugs. It is my Tinkerbell mug, and I used to have 3 beautiful green rhinestones in there, and 2 have fallen and can't get up. And then there's this really, it was very prominent Tinkerbell, and you can possibly see her name inside. This is a well-loved cup of coffee. I probably had this mug. Well, I bought this when I went to Disneyland and we took boys. I believe they were in junior high, and they're both out of the house and adults now. So it's been a while. Well loved. So let's move along. Okay, so hey, if you like the podcast and you want to actually subscribe, just click that little button on YouTube. All that does is just lets you know when my podcasts are up. And also, I'm running a giveaway right now. And once we reach a certain number, which I think we're only like 4 subscribers from, some lucky winner will win a skein of Hedgehog Fibers, this skein right here. To learn more about that, there's a little bit in the bar below. Moving right along, if you also want to join my Ravelry group, it's a great place to be part of any make-alongs or cows that I have, but also there's an introductory thread, and you can introduce yourself. Say what's up, say hi, answer a couple of the questions that I actually put in the prompt so I can get to know you better. And then I'll do a shout out on the podcast as well. But I want to move along. It's been a little while since I've podcast, so I have quite a bit to show you. So I wanted to do a little segment where I'd love to hear back from you guys. I'm going to do a little giveaway in my Ravelry group, which is Nicole's Creative Adventures. But I'd love to hear what your favorite Christmas song is. For me, I have 2, so it's up to you whether you want to list 2, but one traditional song and one modern song. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, I'd love to hear what other holiday songs that you actually really love, or whether you celebrate any specific holiday. What's your favorite song to hear around this time of year? So for me, my traditional favorite song is "Oh Holy Night," right? Oh Holy Night. Right, I love that song. You have to have passion you sing it, and then just the notes and the lyrics themselves, just beautiful. And then my favorite modern song is "Christmas Time Is Here," and that actually comes from the Charlie Brown movie. And Vince Garibaldi is an amazing jazz musician, and his passion was to teach kids jazz, and so he did that whole entire movie is composed by Vince Garibaldi. And "Christmas Time Is Here," there's an instrumental version that I absolutely adore and can listen to over and over and over again. But the version that has the lyrics is sung by children. And so I'm going to sing a little bit of the song in case you're not too sure what it is, but it's my favorite. I think it's my dad's favorite too. He just loved the song. And I think my husband can tell that it's my favorite because he just started to learn the song on guitar, and it's a jazz song, so he's trying to learn all these jazz chords and stuff. But it's done in a higher key. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit because I'm not a little kid. But here we'll give it a try, a cappella style. Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all that children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere, Yuletide carols at fireside and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all that children call that favorite time of year. Well, there you go. Favorite song. I don't know if that was all the lyrics in the right order, but that's what I just did. Love that song. And if you haven't heard it before, look it up on Spotify, Pandora, whatever. Excellent song. Beautiful chords. I love me some jazz. And if you are new to the podcast, I used to sing professionally with jazz a long time ago. I guess it's not that long. Christmas time always reminds me of my singing, performing days because I used to have a lot of Christmas gigs. So let's move on. What will we be doing in this podcast today? You might ask yourself, Nicole, what will you be covering in this podcast? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will be covering You Complete Me, which is my section where I talk about things that I love, whether it's new stash advancement, a book, or this or that, or tea, just things that I'm really excited about and I love. Okay. Finished objects, of course. Works in progress, of course. And then in today's podcast, I'm going to also do a Christmas Eve, Christmas Day cast on conversation. The plan is I've done some footage, but I'm not finished. I plan on putting out a specific podcast related to quilting around the new year. It'll either be right before the new year hits or right after it. I'm taking some time off of work around then, so I will, Lord willing, I will have the time and ability to get that done and get her out. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I had mentioned it. I have put work to it, but I had to kind of put aside my quilting to get these hand knits done for Christmas. I think you all can understand that. And note to self, and tip for those of you who haven't been doing a lot of Christmas knitting but are thinking you might do more of that next year, start early. Start very early because it is daunting. Our schedules get busy. Things just happen. We get sick, all those kinds of things. And the last thing you want is to feel really rushed to spend every moment knitting on something that you want to give somebody, but at the same time you feel like, gosh, I gotta get the laundry done. Like, I wanted to bake. I wanted to do this or that, or I don't even have time to go shopping or this, that. So, plus at this time of year, it'd be really nice to start casting on some things we've been really looking forward to for ourselves, because we're also like to knit for ourselves, right? So, You Complete Me. Okay. So first off, what I want to show off, I have some yarn I want to show because I love yarn. And I just recently got my Nomadic Yarns shipment in. I ordered 2 skeins that are from her Christmas colorway montage. And she's an amazing dyer. She's so popular that you wait easily a month to get your yarn, but it's worth it because once you get it, you're like, oh, and that's why I wanted it. So the first skein I got is Sugar Plum. It's on her Twisty Sock. It's 400 yards. 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. 400 yards, that's perfect. It's just nice in between. It's like a heavy fingering light sport. But look at this. This has got my name all over it. My favorite color is purple, and this is more purple, and it's coming out blue, but it's more purple. This beautiful fuchsia color, browns and grays. It's very cool. Would look good with this. Here's her. I love this. This is smart. So this is actually, I'm telling you right now, guys. Oh, just came right off. Okay. We should be just like this beautiful sheep. You always want to carry your knitting with you at any place and any time. You never want to have a moment that you're sitting and going, what do I want to do? And you want to fiddle on your phone when you can knit. Okay, just saying that right now. This is awesome. So that's one skein. And the other, or gumball, one is probably my favorite. It's called Yuletide. And it's on her Spark sock. Hello. 438 yards. 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. This looks like silver stellina to me, but this is so pretty. So right now, I haven't completely figured out what my Christmas cast on is for socks, but this is up in the running for Christmas Eve cast on. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, it's coming up pretty true to color. Beautimus. Other things that I love. So I haven't knit with any of this yarn, but I have 2 skeins of it. And I really like the 2 skeins I have are singles. And I saw an update of theirs, and I just had it. These skeins have my name written all over it. So this is Cosmic Strings. And it comes from Edinburgh, Scotland. Cosmic Strings. And so I have 2 skeins of their sock base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's a 4-ply and 100 grams. And this colorway is called Marrakesh. But like these are my colors. I actually have a sweater, like one of my hoodies in this colorway. I thought it'd be cool if I either knit socks out of this or I knit kind of like a shawl with this. But I mean, very pretty. Very pretty. Very pretty. So there was that one. Then I thought, well, these 2 look really good together. And so this is the same base, the sock, but in the color is called Harvest. This is really pretty brown, but with this blast of this awesome burnt red and this dark charcoal brown or chocolate brown. And these 2 complement each other, but don't have to go with each other. Then there was the last one. I only planned on getting those 2, and this I came across this, and I was like, oh, snap. This is their Spark sock. It's 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. And I believe this looks like a silver stellina 4-ply weight. And the color is called Maple. And here it is. Oh, that's so pretty. And it goes with my outfit right now. It was so not planned. So, fabulous, darling. So I got these babies. I mean, I really could put them all together, but I'm not going to. But yeah, like, these 2 look good together. These 2 look good together. And even these go together. What am I going to do? Suggestions? Love to hear them. So that's my yarn, except for the one thing is that we just, right around Thanksgiving, there's this awesome thing that I actually didn't get to participate in last year, which was basically gifting other knitters their wishes. And then after you grant a few wishes, you can put your own up. And so I did that, and it was fun to grant wishes. Totally was. I even shipped a package to, oh, where was it? It was in the UK. but the house didn't have I was just a pain in the butt. For some reason, they wouldn't let me ship to the address, so I shipped it to her sister, but it finally got there and she loves it. But it was really cool to be able to ship to the different places. So I shipped to Canada, I shipped to the UK, and then one was a pattern gifting, so it was fun. Pattern one was definitely the easiest of them. But I got a wish granted, and that was from my friend Melissa from the Spicy Homemaker podcast. She is possibly one of the nicest people in the podcast community. Granted, I've been able to kind of chat with her a little bit and be part of her community, and I just love it. So one of my wishes was to try out some new yarn dyers, right? And one of them was the Dingo Dye Works. And I actually watched Peta's podcast. I think she's so cool, and I love her aesthetic and her wanting to make colorways of her environment, and specifically the flora and fauna of Australia. Well, Melissa happened to have a couple skeins of Dingo Dye Works, and she said, hey, pick one. And I said, just surprise me. And so I got this beautiful skein in the mail. It's so clean and so fresh and so beautiful. I love it. Look at this cute. And also, so I have a Queensland Heeler from like my dog is based out of an Australian breed. And he's part dingo. So I don't know, I thought that was cool. This is the Cassandra colorway, 85% extra fine merino, 15% nylon, 100 grams, fingering superwash. Super cool. And this is her Rigididge. But there's also a really pretty stitch marker on it. It's very famously in blue. It's gorgeous. Sparkles. So I'm excited about this. Socks, easy, but I don't know. It's so soft. I heard that her stuff just knits up beautifully, so I'm thinking I might pair it with another skein of yarn and do a 2-skein shawl. So thank you, Melissa. You're awesome. All right. I just want to give you guys an update for those of you that are curious, very curious about my sabbatical plans. I did buy my tickets, or my ticket, one way to Paris from San Francisco for next fall. I'm going to be staying in Chinon in France for 3 nights before I make my way on to Limousin. I think it's Limousin. Limousin? No, Limousin. France, Central France, for a quilting retreat. And then the rest of the plans I still haven't finished. I need to get myself from there down to Tuscany. I'm thinking the train. I didn't realize that I had to go around a big fat mountain range. So might be a long train ride. But hey, I'd rather do that than fly because I can knit. And it's beautiful. I heard the trains are just great, and the view, because you're right there on the ground. So thinking about doing that. But let's move on, shall we? Finished objects. I'm sorry if I'm rambling today. I'm tired. Let's face it, I'm tired. Finished objects. Well, I have completed quite a few things because it's been a while since I podcasted, but I've been practically mostly gift knitting. I have put aside all of my personal items for the most part, aside from some socks, to knit on gifts, which was a really good decision. So first thing I finished was my husband's Christmas socks. Every year. Well, this would make it twice. 2 years in a row now. I have knit my husband's socks for Christmas. So these are his Professor Lupin socks. This is Nomadic Yarns. Oh my gosh. This is Nomadic Yarns. Oh, that's so much better. Oh, and it goes with my shirt, sort of. And this is in her Brit sock base. And this is it's called the Lupin sock, but it's Professor Lupin because the spelling is the same. And I knit large. I casted on 72 stitches. Yes. And I used 9-inch circulars, 2.25 millimeter. And I love them. I did a heel flap and gusset. I try to be very consistent as much as I could, very similar. You'll see it's a little bluer or fatter over here, but this is just, like, I can knit this in my sleep. I do want to try an afterthought heel, and that is part of my goals for 2017. Get out of your comfort zone and try other heels. I haven't done a fish lip. I own the pattern. Haven't done that. I haven't done the afterthought heel. I know that the Smooth Operator sock is really popular by Susan B. Anderson. I'm going to try that. There's also that knitting the sock tube and then cutting in the heel. I can't wait to try that one, actually. It's right up my alley, I think. So these babies are done. Excellent socks. Gonna wrap those babies up and let my hubby wear them. He only has one pair of knit socks right now, so, and every day I'm like wearing a new pair. Well, not a new pair, but I have quite a few. I believe for total knitted socks from this point, this is my 14th pair of socks this year, which is pretty good for me because the year before I only knit 3. Okay, so 14, and then I have another pair on my needles that are for me. That would make 15 for the year, and that one on my needles would mean 12 just for me for my box of socks, Cal. This one and the other 2 pair were gifts. Okay, so 3 pairs were gifts, which is pretty good for me. Next, just a hoe. No, I'll show that later. Just kidding. I'll do that in works in progress. Hats. So gifts. For my future grandson, Calix, he is 2. I knit him, this would be my oldest son, Eric, is engaged to be married, and future daughter-in-law, Redora, has 2 beautiful kids, and one of them is a little boy named Calix, and he's 2. So I knit him a beanie. Boys are very simple. They don't want fancy. So this is the Bankhead beanie, and it's really hard to tell because it's neutral. But this is in Jinx Yarns worsted in the charcoal colorway. I've had this skinny yarn for over a year, and I love it. So here it is. It's got some random pooling, but it actually fits me, but it's a little short. He's 2. He's a toddler. But I have a small head, so this is for Calix. It's so soft. And I actually have like 60, this is the rest of the skein, 66 yards left. I'm wondering if I have enough to knit my son Eric one so he can match Calix. Not sure yet. I just texted Redora to see if she can measure Eric's head. So this is Jinx Yarns. I actually haven't bought some of her yarn in a while. I'm wondering if her label has changed. I love her worsted. So soft. So my favorite cowl that I knit is out of her worsted, and I love it. Hats. More hats. Okay, so my other future grandchild, her name is Tiffany, and she is 5 going on 6. I think so, unless she's 6 right now. I'm so bad at ages. She's going on 16. Is more likely to say it. She's cute. So her favorite color is pink, and her favorite like thing right now is My Little Pony, and specifically Pinkie Pie. Okay, and if you watch my podcast, you might have heard me say this before. So I bought some yarn that was in the Pinkie Pie colorway, but it wasn't exactly, it kind of wasn't really Pinkie Pie. It looks like it wasn't maybe the best dye job, or because when I look at I look at everybody's stash of it on Ravelry, and also look at the website, I think this one had a little too much blue and green added to it, and that's not exactly what Pinkie Pie has. Very little blue and green. She's mostly pink. So those will make great socks, and so I will probably make Tiffany socks someday out of that yarn. But for a hat, she would not probably wear blue and green. So I made a very girly hat. So what I did was I took a skein of Sunrise Fiber Co., which I love her yarn. Love it. And this is her Twisted MCN sock. So it's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. So it's really soft. It's 400 yards and 100 grams. And the Bourbon Rose colorway, which was a June Yarn Club colorway. And I actually don't really have any yarn left from this, and I'll tell you why. So I measured my head and Tiffany's head, and we both have 20 inches round. So when I looked at the pattern that I'm using, 20 inches was like in between small and medium. And because I decided to, this pattern was meant for, it was a worsted pattern. So I double stranded my fingering and I added the Be Sweet Extra Fine Bright Pink Lace Weight Baby Mohair. And this is all I got left. So, because I wanted to add a little bit of a halo. Hi there. So, I thought, I'm going to start with a medium and see if that fits, because the medium seemed to be the right sizing when I looked at the measurements. How I knit up the gauge, right? So, here's the thing. Here's the medium, okay? Super cute. But I'm going to tell you the pattern in a second, but there are two panels that you can use. This one here, I believe, is the twisted lace panel, and then there's a leaf panel. And I chose the twisted one. I just like the cable. The problem is that the hat with the twisted cable tend to come out, and I guess it's because you can have that slouchy effect, which I think would be super cute. The problem is because of the fabric I created, which was a little thicker because I had 3 strands of yarn. I don't think that it lent itself to the look and feel I was going for. So here's what the medium looks like. It fits me, okay? And actually, it looks cute. It's like if I pull it down to its tightest, it's here, but you'll see that there's like, so then you have to do the slouch thing, right? But then I'm thinking, I don't know if her head is as long as mine is. Look at this, I can't even see what I'm doing. But anyways, nonetheless, it's a little slouchy in the back, but maybe not exactly the right size. And then look what I did. Super warm, super comfortable. So then after I finished this medium, I thought, I can knit the small. I can. I knew I would have enough. Obviously, I had extra of the mohair. I played yarn chicken at the end, but I actually got the whole pattern done and didn't have to cut any rows. So then I knit the small. I have a medium, and a small. Small is more of a beanie type. So here's what I'm thinking. The small is for Tiffany, and the medium will be for Redora. So mommy and daughter will have matching pink hats. I think it's great. If it's too big for Redora, then I'll knit her another hat, and I never measured her head. So 2 hats, 3 hats, hats all the way. What else did I knit? I am currently, for my mother-in-law, I knit her a cowl. She tends to overheat, like I do sometimes, so I didn't want to knit her anything too bulky. She is an outdoorsy woman, so I thought, I didn't say. I'm so sorry. Pardon. The pattern that I used for these 2 pink hats, is everyone's hat worsted. Oh, and I don't have the name of I'll put the link down here for Ravelry, the name of the designer. But the pattern comes, so it's a set. And so in the set, you get the worsted and the DK weight hat, and you can swap out this leaf pattern or the twisted cable pattern. It also comes with a pattern for DK or worsted cowl. So basically you get 4 patterns in one or more if you swap out the panels. So what I ended up doing is knitting the leaf pattern, and this smells really good because I just blocked it, and I think It's pretty good. Might be still a little wet right around the ribbing, but the body is pretty dry. So this is the Everyone's cowl worsted. And I used Fashion Knit Nitrous worsted yarn. I don't know the colorway. I totally lost the label. This is a local yarn to me. This is from a yarn shop in Walnut Creek, which is about 35 minutes from me. And the owner, she actually created her own yarn and dyes them and all that kind of stuff. So this is her Nitrous worsted. She is known as the Nitrous. Okay, she's got a great name. And I'll put a link down to the website here, but I really, this worsted is so soft. So this is the cowl. It's just a really, backwards when you're using, just a tight neck cowl. My mother-in-law, as I said before, she gets overheated. She's blonde, dirty blonde. And this would be great for her when she wears a jacket. It just covers her neck and the upper part of her chest. It's super soft. So this is the leaf pattern. Gosh, it's so hard to do this when it's backwards while you're filming. And I'll tell you right now, I messed up. That's what I get for watching TV and knitting this. So one of the leaves is offset by like one row. But nonetheless, when it's scrunched up on your neck, you can't totally tell. So it's so soft. Like now that I know, and it was very affordable too, this worsted weight yarn. I think that the next time I go, I'm going to pick up a couple skeins to do a nice larger cowl or something for me, because it's just like butter and I've only soaked this once. The last gift I'm working on, for those of you who watched in the past, I was working on a shawl, and it's still in work in progress. But I was going to give it to my husband's grandmother, but it's more of a scarf shawl. And as I thought about it more, Grandma Vieira she's in her mid-90s, and I think that she would prefer more of a traditional shawl. And so I'm actually going to gift her one of the shawls I just recently finished a couple months ago. Because I think just one of the traditional triangle shawl, she could just wear it over her shoulders, keeps her warm. I feel like with the Saunders shawl, it's really meant to be a fancy, it's more of a scarf than a shawl. So then, just this morning, I casted this baby on. So this is the last official gift, unless I decided to knit my son Eric had the remainder of this. I have casted on the Gazelle Cowl by Cat Archer. It comes in DK, no, it comes in fingering, DK, and worsted versions. And this is the DK version. I'm using Sunrise Fiber Co. yarn again because I just love it. This is October 2016 Yarn Club, specific colorway called Sweater Weather, popular name this year. This is her vintage DK, 100% superwash merino, 231 yards, 100 grams. This is the colorway. Lots of oranges and greens and browns, very autumnal. My sister-in-law has blondish, reddish hair, and she looks good in greens, and she looks really good in neutral colors, but yellows and oranges and greens look good on her. So I don't know. I'm thinking she's gonna like this. I'm really liking this. This cowl is knit flat, and then you cast on with a provisional cast on, and then you just Kitchener stitch the baby together once you get the length you want. I am trying to knit the small, but if I have enough yardage, I will go a little bit beyond that. The small is 20 inches long. Right now I'm at like 8.5, 9 inches. And what's cool about this design is it stands out no matter how busy your yarn is. And so you take something that's highly variegated like this, and then you start to get this awesome pooling and color waves. I say color waves, huh? Color waves. I'm just liking it. So I have to get this done though by I have to finish it Thursday. Today is Monday, the 19th, because I need to be able to soak it and then block it and then have it packed and presented for gift opening on Christmas Eve. So, and then this is what the back looks like. It's really soft. The bumps are on the front. The texture, you feel it on the front, and the back, it's just like really soft. So it's going to be really comfortable. So it'd be, again, a small cow. Yeah. That's what I'm working on. I am tired today, just saying it. Okay, so that's one work in progress. The other work in progress is my Christmas socks. So the goal is to get these done by Christmas so that I can wear them when I cast on my Christmas Eve socks. Now, granted, I'm going to be at a Christmas event until late, so I don't know if I'll be wearing these Christmas Eve, but I might wear them on Christmas Day. So this is a Homespun House yarn, and the colorway is Bookworm. It's her Gold Stellina base, 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% Gold Stellina, 437 yards, a homespun house. So here is sock 1, and it's got a lot of sparkle, but you're not going to see it because there's no direct light on this. Pick it up. Sock 1 is done, and here is where I am at with sock number 2. I attempted the eye of partridge heel on both of these for the first time with the heel flap, and actually it works, but I think it's because of the variegation on the yarn that it just doesn't come out the way it's not obvious. So turn the heel, I'm working my way down the foot. I have another 3.5, 4 inches, and I'll be done. So I really do feel like this should be done by, so I can wear it Christmas morning. Yay, Christmas socks! That would be my only Christmas socks for myself this year, and I'm totally fine with that. And then the other works in progress that I have going on. So the shawl I mentioned, the triangle shawl, not the triangle shawl, the shawl that I said is more like a scarf, is it's from Helen Stewart. It's part of her Shawl Society collection. And it is called the Sonder Shawl, and I am using the suggested fiber or yarn that she suggested. Gosh, I'm falling apart right now. I apologize. The Fiber Code Tundra in the colorway Tega. Let's just say it's that. Here is the label for the yarn. It is very soft. It is very warm. It is a bulky weight, and it's 60% alpaca, 30% wool, 10% silk. I bought 3 skeins. There are 120 yards in each skein. I have my final skein that I haven't even got into, but this is all I have left of the second skein. So I'm about to jump onto that baby. But here's what I got so far. It's very soft. So it starts out with a point, and then it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it just gets bigger and bigger, and it ends at a wide edge. And so you end up with 3 edges, the tip, and then the 2 ends of the last of the triangle. Hello. And so there are 2 options. You can put tassels, and some people did like the little hello, the fur balls, pom-poms at the end. I am not quite a pom-pom girl. I probably will try out the tassels. The truth be told, you don't have to do any of those two options. You can do no accessories on the edge of it, but you'll see that it's warm. But I have a feeling that my grandmother would probably not, because she stays home a lot. This would probably be better. It's really warm, suited for outside, and she might overheat with that being wrapped around her. So that's why I went with the triangle shawl. So that's where I'm with that. I am using my Knitter's Pride Dreams interchangeables, and this is a US 11. goes to 11. And that's for you guys that know what I'm talking about. Spinal Tap. So, you know, I'm looking forward to finishing that, but I have no hurry because I don't need to get that done by Christmas. And then the last work in progress, which I have not touched, because I've decided to finish my knitting for Christmas gifts, is my first sweater. And I am so close. I have finished the body, the sleeves. The only thing I do need to do now is to pick up all the stitches around the button band and knit this fat button band. And this is the Rosemont cardigan by Hannah Fettig. And it's from her Home and Away Knits for Everyday Adventures pattern book. I am using Knit 1 Crochet 2 braid tweed yarn in the Aran weight. And the color, I believe, is Lichen. So it's living in my chicken boots bag, which I love. Here's what the pattern is going to look like. I'll throw up a better picture. Gotta love that glare. Boop-a-doo. Here's what the yarn looks like. It's kind of a really good, it's a neutral tan with a little bit of a gray going on with it. And I've been using multiple, I'm using my Knit Prides, I guess US 8s and something else. I'm not prepared for this, about 8s and 10s. So 10 probably for the ribbing. You go for this, no, 10 for the body, 8 for the ribbing for the sleeves and the band. So that's where I'm at with that. I mean, it hasn't been blocked either. That's the other thing. Chris, my husband's like, how come it keeps rolling? I'm like, well, because I haven't cast on the actual edging, and it hasn't been blocked. So with blocking, I see this actually looking pretty halfway decent. Okay, hello from the future. I had a little bit of a filming issue for my last segment, which is going to be about Christmas Eve cast-ons or Christmas Day cast-ons. So Danny of Little Bobbin Knits, which is a podcast. She also makes gorgeous bags, has a tradition of knitting, casting on a new pair of socks on Christmas Eve. And I do believe that I did participate last year, but I didn't participate with, I think, in the threads and her Ravelry group. But this year I am. And I actually work for a church, so I will be working the day before Christmas Eve. We have services. We're a fairly large non-denominational Christian church. And then we also have Marco over there. And then we also have services on Christmas Eve, 3 of them. So if I'm going to cast on legitimately on Christmas Eve, it's probably going to be in the daytime, because right after Christmas Eve services, I'm going to jet to my mother-in-law's house where we're going to do Christmas Eve dinner, and that goes late into the night. And after a long day of working and eating amazing food and drinking some pretty good quality wine, I probably shouldn't cast on anything because I want to spend time with my family. So I will start on Christmas Eve, but it'll probably be earlier in the day. So again, like I said, I'm contemplating casting on this new skein of yarn, or new gumball of yarn, Yuletide from Pneumatic Yarns. The other 2 options, see, I haven't made up my mind, is this awesome skein from Yarn Inc. It's a Sincerity, which is, I think, part of my favorite things in my last podcast. I'm thinking about doing, obviously this is self-striping, so I would just do, oh, hello. I would just do a vanilla sock, although I think I might try the Afterthought heel or the Susan B. Anderson smooth operator sock, because it's supposed to be fantastic for self-striping. This one or this other one, which is also a Stellina base. It's Black Pearl by Wollonbine Yarns in her Blitz base. Well, hello, Mr. Jack. I wonder if people were wondering where you were. He didn't want to have anything to do. You tried to take a nap earlier. So for these two, I'm thinking I would like to try the Mercury socks. I know Mercury socks would look fantastic. The lighting is really bad right now. It's late. It's dark outside. So we're using inside light. And then this one, maybe Mercury socks will look good, but this is so cool. So I haven't decided, but one of these three will be my, hello, Mr. Jack. One of these three will be my favorite New Year's, not New Year's Eve, New Year's Eve. I'm tired. I'm gonna go make dinner. Note to self. Christmas Day, I want to cast on something else, yo, because I have been knitting gifts for everybody and their mother, literally my mother-in-law, mother, as well. I made my mom socks. Yarning your lip gloss. Although I haven't finished my Rosemont cardigan, that is a goal. Okay, I'm very close. I do want to cast on my Princess Fiona sweater, which is this, and I've showed this before. And I've already caked up 2 skeins out of 4 that I have. Perfectement. This is also Sunrise Fiber Co., which I mentioned. Did 2 projects so far in this podcast with that. And this was a special fall colorway, fall Christmas. I believe it was called. I had it memorized. What was it called, Jack? It's in her Frolic Sport Weight, and the color is Windfall. That's correct. So I would love to cast that on and start another sweater, and that has a pretty leafy lace pattern on the side. So yeah, I want to cast on another pair of socks. Heck, I want to cast on 2 pairs of socks. I love having 2 pairs of socks going at the same time. But just New Year's Eve, I can cast on another pair of socks. Calm down, Nicole. So I'm curious, what are you planning to cast on over the Christmas Eve, Christmas Day? Do you have yarn you know that's coming and you can't wait to cast on? Or do you have a New Year's Eve or New Year's Day cast on that you have planned to kick off the new year? I'm curious on what you want to knit and or crochet, or even just start a project, quilting, embroidery, you name it, sewing. Love to hear from you. Just drop me a line in Ravelry, drop me a line on Instagram, drop me a line on hello, YouTube, and that would be great. So this is it. I have finished my podcast, and I need to finish editing and get this up. But I just want to wish you guys all a Merry Christmas, and I appreciate you watching all the way to the end of this podcast. That makes me very happy. And yeah, see, I said instead of that time. Is that different? Jack wishes you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Fuzzy New Year. And we'll see you next time, okay? Take care. And what was that?